Pac-Man World Repack, a remake of the original Pac-Man World, recently dropped on August 26, 2022. The game features redone cinematics, redone graphics, redone boss design, and some changed mechanics. I'm going to be showing footage from the first level in both games, Corsair's Cove, while discussing the design of these two experiences, where it differs, and what that means. But before the gameplay proper, I do want to briefly touch on the redone intro cinematic. It's worse. In the original game, it's more clear what's happening and why, but if I didn't already know how the story went, it would be legitimately difficult to parse the dialogue and composition in the scene at Pac-Man's party. It's hazy, dreamlike, nigh incoherent, and not intentionally either. The expressions are less clear, the intention is poorly translated from the original, it's just weird. Alright, with that out of the way, let's get to the game proper. Many of the elements crucial to Pac-Man World have remained unchanged in the remake. Most importantly, the limited live system and roulette stayed as they were. This is a huge win, where I'm concerned, because the lives economy was crucial to the flow and stakes of the original game. They added a risk-reward system to the entire experience, and because the roulette operates based on secrets you find in the levels, it also encourages exploration. You want more lives to survive longer, so you explore more, and exploring is the entire purpose of the game's levels. It all ties together beautifully. Glad to see this was left alone. The level design is also, remarkably, still in the same spirit of the original work. Corsair's Cove is an incredible first level because it teaches you everything you need to know about the way Pac-Man World works. Though seemingly a linear game, Pac-Man World is in actuality an exploration-focused collectathon, just with a fixed angle and a smaller scope. There may be no open world aspect, but the levels are laid out as simplistic mazes, with fruits you collect acting as keys to doors, and those doors leading to secrets, which in turn lead to more collectibles. All of the design is built around enticing the player to explore the levels thoroughly, which rewards curious and inquisitive minds. That said, they really done goofed up in some places. Everything in both games is built around incentivizing exploration, but in the remake they changed one of those incentives drastically. In the original game, you needed to rescue Pac-Man's family and friends to beat the game, which makes sense to me. After all, that's the story of the game. Your family and friends were kidnapped. But in Pac-Man World Repack, rescuing them all is optional. This means the player no longer has to explore the levels, no longer has to find the keys, and no longer has to rescue the Paxter's loved ones. They can just sort of float through the game and do the bare minimum, without any real need to engage the underlying design principles. It was a bad decision to change this, and I'm not a fan. But with all that put away and locked back in its morose little box, Repack isn't a bad way to experience Pac-Man World's design. On the whole, it makes the screen easier to read, keeps the exploration-focused level design and live system, and its concessions to the mechanics and design, though unnecessary, don't do anything to actively impede the original experience's intentions too grievously. Some things were made easier, some harder, and it seems like the dev team cared about creating a rewarding and challenging experience, even given those changes. Though I question the necessity for an easy mode when the game already gives you a flutter jump. Like, why even bother? It's fine, I guess.